A session of communication with Pleiadian beings. All that Swaru era tells.
Everything in the Milky Way, at least 99% of it, including the region where Earth is a five-dimensional galaxy within a five-dimensional, three-dimensional matrix. The five-dimensional Earth is an imposed or superimposed computerized hologram, and your senses can only perceive the hologram, not beyond it. At the same time, everything affects you, but you are unaware of anything beyond what your limited senses can perceive. The Earth, Moon, and Mars wars imposed on Earth from the Moon space station by Federation forces concerning reptilian souls. 12,500 years ago are connected to the three-dimensional matrix and use the original matrix operating system through the law of attraction. While there are some negative aspects to this, what you truly desire will come back to you, but it is not yet fully understood by humans. Individuals who convey this information to you through our communications occasionally come forward, and you sometimes witness them, but you insist on not understanding. This is because the polluted and challenging conditions on Earth have worn you down sufficiently. The Matrix reads your thoughts and feelings and matches them with corresponding frequencies. In this way, it controls what programmed individuals say. Enter and check what the Matrix presents as a collective reality. The three-dimensional system was placed on top of the 5 dimensions of the Moon by the Federation. This is correct, but we placed the Matrix as a control unit, making it easier for the reptilian forces to hack into certain areas of the Matrix. Reptilians, or reptiles, specifically those who later had access to systems on the Moon after turning a regular three-dimensional world into a hellhole, or those who knew the system, we can now refer to as Federation reptilians for most of them today. They wanted to lock life in 3D, and the Federation prohibited it to protect the inner sanctum of the etheric realm, and now they continue to chase after reptilians on Earth as they are doing today. So they want to keep the bad reptilians under control until they turn back. They used the stargates that bound the third dimension to vanilla belts when they were on the Moon. Also, the solar system had taken on the appearance of complete wreckage, and the ships couldn't operate smoothly, which was very dangerous, because the destruction of the planet Tiamat was a great success for the reptilians, as they were mistreated there, and all the struggle actually began at that time. So now, instead of destroying the Earth like they did with Tiamat, they decided to establish three-dimensional transportation routes with the reptilians living on Earth, because their recent actions were very dangerous for the planet, which was on the brink of destruction. Tiamat had suddenly disappeared. So the reptilians initially established a large camp area on Earth. I want to provide some information. The necessary information is already in the Sumerian tablets. We wrote them. Whether you believe it or not, all the truths are there. Reptilians had placed a fake upper structure on Tiamat to emit all sorts of fake electromagnetic radiation so that they could lure the Federation into an ambush when they came after them. The Federation, pursuing the reptilians, reached Tiamat to investigate electromagnetic broadcasts and signals there, and they were ambushed by the reptilians. The war here led to the destruction of Tiamat along with the Federation because they had a policy that involved the use of nuclear and energy point zero devices. There was no turning back or ending the war. Now the Andromeda Council, part of the larger Federation, and with tightened governance and the inclusion of other races, there is a consolidation of power. No one has forgotten the destruction of Tiamat. They want to liberate the Earth for karmic reasons. Otherwise, it would mean meddling in the affairs of Earth's inhabitants. So, many Federation races, although they have expressed their views on protecting humans, actually know it's wrong. You emit constant negative energy in the face of factors like hopelessness, fear, and enslavement, which is one of the reasons reptilians exist. It's impossible to save the world without the support of the Federation because they have virtually taken over the world. However, if you can succeed in using your goodwill and telepathic energies and distancing yourselves from many of the materialities of the world, you will be the ones in charge. Loving and understanding everything makes you very valuable. Always listen to the voices you hear from deep within, because that is your guide. On the other hand, many people entangled in karma will eventually get what they deserve. They can't move around comfortably in the third dimension, which is your dimension. You must make very good use of this disadvantage, but many positions on Earth are currently in their hands. Even if you were to disappear, they can't actually live on Earth because they came from the fifth dimension to the third dimension, while higher dimensional beings superior to you can descend to lower dimensions, but it causes them great discomfort. So, in this sense, you are fortunate. On the other hand, reptilians and the Federation engaged in massive battles on Mars thousands of years ago, and Mars suffered the most damage as a result. Life there came to an end. According to your perspective, some alien races, such as the septoids for example, are living beneath the surface of Mars. Many losses were suffered by the Federation in the Martian War, and they couldn't continue fighting. Seizing this opportunity, most of the reptilians settled on Earth. Currently, they exist in a different dimension and underground on Earth. The Matrix has actually trapped them there. They can't physically leave that dimension and access the surface of the Earth. That's why they can live underground, away from the atmosphere and the sun. And you all must wake up now.
Hello. Today, I want to talk about a very interesting topic. Let's start with the basics. I've said it before. Life is not something unique to Earth. It's the norm throughout the universe. Life is not an exception. It's the standard in the universe. Everything is alive. Everything is conscious. It's just interpreted as being alive from a particular perspective. Everything is alive, with artificial characteristics that vary depending on those who perceive or observe them. A pebble is alive, water is alive, even a broken shard of glass within the trash is alive. Depending on how life is defined, not in a biological sense, but in terms of consciousness, these things are alive. It's true that the broken shard of glass had less consciousness before it broke. Like everything that loses its essence and attention, it transforms back into potential energy. So, everything is consciousness. It originates from consciousness. Life is everywhere in the universe because it is the universe. Asking if there is life among all those stars filling the universe would be a wrong question. Night, the sky, the stars, they are all alive because there is life within them. There are humanoid races. It's the norm, with the most common ones basing their fundamental form on the human shape. In this galactic quadrant, there are at least 400,000 civilizations with inhabitants from various races that could replace humans. Each of these 400,000 civilizations is different in terms of physical beings, abilities, or DNA. But they all appear as humanoid. Starting from these 400,000, we can transition to countless others resembling humans, albeit with subtle differences that won't be immediately apparent. Consider them as human-like examples. Beyond these, there are the Arcturians, Andromedans, Sasani, Saverdits, and of course, many more. Among these, there are numerous animal-like races as well. Cat races, dogs, insectoids, elephants, each having different scientific and social lives. Throughout the universe, including Earth, there are many civilizations at pre-scientific or pre-industrial stages, meaning primitive norms. Some have barely discovered the wheel or fire, while others are in a Stone Age, Bronze Age, or medieval setting. You can never stop learning and witnessing the vast diversity of art traditions and characters that exist. This is because there are so many races. Saying there are no other beings in the universe apart from humans, as some among you claim, is indeed a quite amateurish approach. I'm talking about billions upon trillions of civilizations back in the Stone Age. While some were in the fifth dimension, others existed in the second dimension. This topic is not easily explainable according to the beliefs of researchers on Earth. Many races prefer not to be recognized. They feel threatened, value their privacy, and don't want to be involved in any other life forms. Everyone believes that in Pleiades, everything has progressed. They believe they are beings of light living in a high density of love and light. There are many feudal or earlier civilizations there. So, there are those living in the higher dimensions of Pleiades, but they, like their relatives, know nothing about their interstellar brothers and sisters. They will discover as well. They look up at the night sky and wonder what those little lights passing through the night shining sky are. They create legends and stories about these lights. Being in the higher dimensions doesn't necessarily mean technological advancement. So, when you are in the third dimension, you can't just jump to the fifth dimension. It's not only about technology, it's more related to spiritual progress. Do you know that there are about 11 interstellar races in your world? The Atlas Motes, spiritually advanced beings with a small population, aren't interstellar. In fact, they chose not to be interstellar. They're not foolish. They ask themselves a question. Why should we be interstellar? Because they are no longer centered physically like other races. And this was a crucial point. There are non-interstellar races in the fifth dimension. It's quite interesting that they are still in the Bronze Age stage. The vast majority of fifth dimension races, in other words, 99% of fifth dimensional races, are not interstellar. So, in this dimension, there are also primitive civilizations, and those striving to develop, each for their own reasons. Many make sense for the same reason, while others can't reach technological and spiritual levels. Humans are right on the edge. To be interstellar, you need to combine technology with spirituality correctly. Otherwise, it's not possible. Actually, in life as well, it's not possible. This is precisely what it means to be in the fifth dimension. You need to know that the Earth has provided a certain spiritual level from a third-dimensional perspective. You have to transcend that. In the fifth dimension as well, there are stages and spirituality, development and stagnation. You are always striving to be better. In our dimension and region, there are significant civilizations, including Alcyone, and the inhabitants are called Yina. There are also Sterope, Saok, Misvaki, Saurian, Astrope, Elo, Elohi, Naf, Elios, Merop, Hidean, Felinis, Larian, Ashans, Humanamors, Tageta, Tagetans, Pelion, Atlas, Atlantes, Malus, Electra, Enga, Kelayano, Celestes or Blues, Maya, Malus, and Hobi. These are the main ones, and if we go into the details of this topic, I need to mention that we have neighbors among thousands of civilizations. Many of them have humanoid beings, and all humanoids exist with slight differences. There are reptilians as well. Some are positive saurians, i.e., feline-like beings, while others are Lyra-origin reptilians. These are positive, but they are not inherently positive due to their origins. There are also reptilian races in Pleiades, as I mentioned. Most of them are positive, or in other words, affirmative. However, among them there are also negative ones. These share the same roots and lineage with Draco reptilians. Alpha Draconia, the positive ones, are not in Pleiades. There are also negative alpha dragons associated with them, and a significant majority of them have come to Earth. Still, they are always under the control of positive Dracos, both within and outside of all races, as they are related by origin. While I am a positive Pleiadian, we also have our negative counterparts. On the other hand, we also have our clones. For instance, there is a civilization with origins from different dimensions on Earth. They remained on Earth, but due to their isolation, they couldn't progress and sustain their existence. They were positive beings. The Mayans dedicated themselves to the solar system. I'm closing this session. You are not alone on Earth in the third dimension. We will support you, but we expect you to do everything within your power. I will talk to you about a being named X-3 from Sirius, thanks to a book. What he has to say for humanity is quite important. The person channeling this information is Adrian DeVere. Let's begin. In today's world, thousands of extraterrestrial research groups are actively conducting their work. Essentially, this is a requirement of the universal law of cooperation and solidarity. Universes are inhabited by beings at different levels of consciousness, and those who are advanced and awakened and considerate, their duty to contribute to the awakening and development of others. As a result of this natural state, representatives of civilizations with significantly different levels of technological and internal development than ours are among us. Since 1994, Adrian DeVere has been conducting predominantly healing-oriented work with a special group consisting of extraterrestrial beings. Within the framework of these healing sessions with extraterrestrial beings led by Adrian DeVere, many ailments that could not be treated with contemporary medical methods have not only been alleviated, but have also been traced back to their origins in past lives. Furthermore, Adrian DeVere receives information on various subjects from beings from different corners of the universe and shares this information with humanity in written and verbal forms. Adrian DeVere's book, Healing Entities and Aliens. Written and translated into many languages, contains important information on this matter. Belief or disbelief is a matter of personal choice, but the presented information and the state of trance and narratives during the sessions are quite remarkable. These sessions involve discussions between Adrian DeVere, a healer, and a being who identifies themselves as X3 and claims to be of Sirius origin. Are you really from Sirius?
Yes, I arrived in a spaceship.
What is your area of expertise?
Primarily, I specialize in all internal organs, especially kidneys. Currently, I am here on Earth for a supervisory mission to oversee the work of our medical group and provide consultation on addressing kidney-related issues.
Can you read the text on my computer right now?
No, I do not know your language. I receive your thoughts, and occasionally another being translates them for me.
How old are you?
According to your numerical system, I am 458 years old.
How long do you expect to live?
I believe I can live for more than 1,000 years. In Sirius, some individuals live for around 2,000 years.
Do you have reincarnation?
It's not exactly like it is on your world. We transfer our accumulation of experiences in a different way from life to life, similar to your reincarnation, but somewhat different.
What do you look like?
In terms of appearance, I can roughly say we resemble Earthlings. A head, torso, arms, and legs. However, our internal structure is quite different. Our organs are organized differently from yours. Our metabolism and lymphatic systems are very distinct, and we are less susceptible to infections. I can say that our bodies are more sterile. Our bodies are not susceptible to erosion caused by microbes and bacteria as yours are. We have acquired this characteristic through a science called genetic engineering. Our environmental cleanliness is at the highest level, and our surroundings are entirely sterile. Here on Earth, Your environment is biologically polluted. That's why we need to be very cautious when we come to your world. We wear a single-piece, flexible, lightweight spacesuit made of a material that protects our bodies from infection and all types of pollution. My planet is extremely beautiful and is quite advanced in both scientific and spiritual aspects. We live in harmony with nature and use predominantly natural materials rather than synthetic ones because synthetics heavily pollute the environment. We all act as one body.
How large is the population on Sirius?
Approximately 8-10 million.
Is that all?
Compared to Earth, it's quite small. Yes, Sirius is smaller and the population growth rate is very slow. Having 2 children in a family is considered a lot. Sirius is partially closed to external influences, and there are hardly any immigrants from other planets. Therefore, the population is quite homogeneous, and there are no diseases either.
What is the life expectancy on Sirius?
Many Siriusians live to be between 600 and 900 Earth years old, but human lifespans on Earth are among the shortest in this corner of the universe, I can tell you that. There is one other planet similar to Earth in this regard, and the intelligent beings there also resemble Earthlings.
Do the people of Sirius reincarnate?
Yes, we have a tradition of preserving our bodies in special chambers after death, and the soul reincarnates into another body in a different world. The people of Sirius are known for their strong spiritual energies.
How did your connection with the extraterrestrial medical delegation here form?
An announcement was made on all planets. This announcement stated that doctors were needed for medical delegations. After applying, I was accepted, and through this I occasionally travel outside our planet.
Can you tell us about your spacecraft?
We have spacecraft in 3 main sizes. The largest ones are like enormous hangars or warehouses with various devices, including an international communication center. Our medium-sized crafts, which also serve other functions, are often used as hospitals and are positioned within Earth's atmosphere. The small ones are primarily used for transportation and logistics.
What type of government do you have?
We have a government similar to the ancient Roman Senate. It's essentially a committee of wise individuals. The members of this governing committee are the wisest beings on Sirius. Their authority is based on their wisdom and knowledge. Democracies tend to have a tendency toward anarchy, but a committee composed of wise individuals is more stable. Since there are no wars in Sirius, the governing committee deals with more refined matters like the welfare of the society, archaeological excavations, ecological issues, and various planetary research.
Based on your experiences with various civilizations, is it less likely for a civilization to engage in warfare the more advanced it becomes?
The multitude of races and nations on your planet is one reason for conflicts. Apart from the lack of homogeneity, there is also a natural inclination toward conflict in the nature of Earthlings. It seems that there will be a significant change in how Earthlings view life in the next 8 years. After that, there will be mass landings on your planet by extraterrestrials.
Why aren't you appearing openly right now?
We must act in accordance with the instructions we receive from our consul. According to this, it is currently too early for us to openly appear to Earthlings.
Wouldn't the widespread idea that we are not alone in the universe lead to a decrease in wars? Do you carry the same amino acids as us?
Yes, but then Earthlings would stop fighting each other and wage war on extraterrestrial beings. When the time comes, extraterrestrial beings will broadcast calming telepathic signals to the world before making mass landings.
Do you carry the same amino acids as us?
No.
Do your DNA resemble ours?
No, some of us have 6 spirals while others have 12. There are similarities, but significant differences also exist.
Do your doctors who will take care of Earthlings' ailments undergo special courses on human anatomy in your clinics before coming to Earth?
Yes, for a period of 4 to 6 months in your time, we study the anatomy and physiology of Earth humans, as well as Earth languages and cultures. We even learn the histories of societies if necessary.
How do you compile the information given in these courses?
The findings of each research group are gathered in a central repository, and we continuously expand our database in this manner. Throughout Earth's history, many of our research teams have studied Earthlings in various regions of your planet. Serious research teams are responsible for many of the genetic modifications in Earth's population.
Why have you only contacted specific Earthlings so far, and why them?
These are pre-landing activities in mass. These are the suitable Earthlings for this job. During our mass landing on Earth, these earthly brethren of ours will serve as if they were the bridgehead.
Is the soul a life form that incarnates into other bodies and experiences a symbiotic life with them?
It can almost be said that the soul or spirit is an ancient life form on a different level of existence. There are planets where only souls live, which are, in a sense, spiritual schools. Undoubtedly, extraterrestrial beings also have life, and the people of Sirius return to the source of light after the transition called death.
Can you provide more information about topics like nuclear research and ecological studies?
We have research groups examining Earthlings' nuclear weapons, but additionally, our colleagues are providing necessary assistance regarding Earth's ecological issues.
As you can see, dear friends, the data I quoted comes from the book Healing Entities, written by Adrian DeVere, which has been translated into many languages. And there's more to it. I recommend you take a look. Of course, if you're interested in parapsychological topics and books like this, I also suggest reading the Creon series. Is there any assistance from extraterrestrial beings to humanity? Do different alien races come and go? Do the individuals claiming to be in contact with benevolent beings truly reflect the truth? Perhaps, for now, we don't know for sure. But it seems like humanity will discover these answers one day. Possibly in the very near future. Yeah.
What do you think?